All right, ladies and gents, we're live again. You see, I got a fresh new do. Avery's got short hair. I had to follow in suit.
Yeah, I like that.
There we go. So today we are going to be discussing. It's going to be kind of a current events meets conversational parkour. So, like I always say, like we are not experts on any subject, but we're just like talking out loud because that's literally what everyone is doing, right? You see things that happen, and then you have
Hmm.
opinions, and everyone's allowed to have their opinion. Like we're all citizens, and even if we can't, affect a change, we are affected by other people's actions. So today we're going to kind of discuss broadly. I sent Avery into the netherworld, into the dark web, as it were, to kind of like pull out some different threads. So we have a lot to kind of
Yeah,
like to talk about, but we're going to focus, or we're going to start on just like this recent news around Epstein. When Epstein happened, like I kind of followed it. I know Avery followed it, but maybe not. I
yeah,
wasn't deep in it, but I think it's interesting now that we're seeing kind of a transition where like people in politics who were at one point running were kind of running on, hey, like there are these secrets, we're going to release these secrets. And, people have been kind of like, waiting
Mhm.
for answers for certain truths. And now it's, that kind of messaging has really changed.
Right,
So
right.
that's where we're going to kind of start, and then hang with us as we kind of like go from there and spin off into the wacky world that is planet Earth. So
Yeah.
I'm going to kick it to Avery because Avery's got his notebook, the magic notebook, and which will lead us today. And yeah, okay, so within this Epstein domain, where should we begin?
So first of all, like, subscribe, comment. You know what to do already. All right, and obviously, as Chris said, this is all just us speculating. It's alleged. Like, I don't have any concrete evidence in front of me. Obviously, we're just a small channel. It doesn't matter. Uh, Now, originally, back when this all broke, like years ago, well, how long was it? Like now, like 7 years ago, when he got in prison. Um, we all knew that there was a lot of smoke going on, but people were looking for the fire, and the fire was the list. So when the Trump administration was campaigning for the election, this is where it all begins. At least this portion component of this whole vast story. When he was campaigning, he promised to release the list of the client. And when we say list, we mean the client list. So everyone that was um, on the island and maybe took part in illegal activities. That's all. That's all I'm just gonna say. Um, Now, where are we? July. So 7 months in, he got inaugurated in January. 7 months in, now he just had a press conference with Pam Bondi, who's the Attorney General of the United States, who's from Florida, and I know people that know her, and so does Chris. Um, they held a press conference that said, "Oh no, there's no list. There's nothing to see here. Just everyone just move on and stop talking about it." And Trump actually got irritated at the press conference because the journalists kept asking about it. Now, the problem is, especially for citizens like Chris and I, we're not stupid. All right,
Or at
and
least
this
we
is and
we
this is
we, we like to believe that we're not.
yeah, you're right. Oh, or that, yeah, maybe we are. Who knows?
I mean, Avery is a valedictorian. I can't
Yeah,
speak to those high honors. So maybe
yeah,
maybe he's the smart one in the room. But
yeah,
go ahead, keep going.
and I don't insult my intelligence. Don't sit there and tell me straight to my face that there's nothing happened and everyone just needs to move on. Like, are you? This is where I start getting wound up. Are you really? Is that the stance you're going to take after you promised many things? So, like, he also promised. That's why even his own base. Yeah, now we're squirming around here. His own base is pissed off because he promised, "Oh, I'm gonna end Ukraine, we're going to pull out of Ukraine in 24 hours. Now he's sending more military aid and weapons to Ukraine. The Israel Palestine, we've covered this on this channel enough. We all know what that's, and Iran, so we all know what's going on there. Now this thing, so everyone is upset from every angle, from all aisles, that he promised things and now he's doing nothing that he said he was going to do. He just now it looks, at least optically, it looks like he just said all those things to get elected. And on this channel, we've said that I kind of liked, I don't like him as a person, but I like that he toppled the status quo, because I think the left, the extreme left, was going a little too far with all this like cancel culture and woke nonsense and stuff like that. I hate using those terms, but it's easiest for the people to understand. And since he's got in office, he's just reneged on everything. He's just gone back on everything he said. So Epstein list apparently doesn't exist, which we all know is bullshit. It's just not real. That like it's just a blatant lie. So
Yeah. So here I'm looking while
yeah,
you're collecting yourself.
yeah,
So in 2019 was when
he got convicted.
correct. He got, well, that's when because he's had, I think, more than one run in with the law for sordid things. But 2019 was when he was arrested. And that's kind of when this chapter of his life became like mainstream. To some of your points, yeah. So it's interesting. So I was looking while you're talking. I'm looking, right.
Yeah.
So like, for me, like we can parse out a lot of different things. I think all politicians make statements as to like how fast they can solve a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because like at the end of the day, it's like, to get elected, a lot of it's bravado. I don't care. You can package bravado in different ways. There's maybe more humble looking ways. There's more, machismo looking ways that's kind of Trump. But confidence is like kind of like a prerequisite. You need to at least project confidence.
Yeah, true.
I think with some of the stuff, I think it's more like, again, how you can't make, there's certain promises you can't make. Like, I'm going to end Ukraine. I mean, it's one of those promises that I think a smart person is like, well, I know that you're saying that means that that's gonna be a major effort, but you have no control over like the world. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously you have a limit. So I think some of those things are kind of like, maybe he's even trying to follow through with that, but it's kind of like, I can't control, like, who would have predicted, for example, that Israel was gonna, well, maybe a lot of people, was gonna like bomb Iran at that particular time. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that was like something, you know what I mean? That things happen and you have to respond and just deal with them, right? Like, I think a lot of like leadership at a high level is jazz. It's improvisation. Like, you can strategize, but it's like pieces on a chessboard. Like, yeah, that's fun and games. You want to push people here, there, but you can't control like the unexpected, right? Like, there's still humans, there's still variables. A comet could fall out of the sky, and then it's like all of your plans disappear.
Mm.
Um, I think with the Epstein thing, the point that I think is interesting to me, and maybe we can discuss this, is I think this is like a different category because so many of the people who were running with Trump ran on this like,
That's the
there,
problem.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot, like, there's information here, we're gonna release it. Like, Cash Patel, I think, was very like, I'm gonna get in there, I'm gonna find it. I was looking at like a CNN article right now. There's like a picture, this was like a couple months ago, or maybe, I mean, yeah, where they brought in all of these like conservative influencers in, and we're like, there's
They
pictures of
gave him the
them
binder.
with the
Yeah.
binder, right?
Yeah.
Was that all just like a photo op and there was just
It
white
was.
paper in there?
It was.
So that's like, I think, to me, like the very interesting thing of like, yeah, it just seems kind of ridiculous because it's such a reversal. Like, you ran so much on, not even Trump, but like all of
It's
these people
ridiculous.
ran on this, like, there's secrets, like there's not
Yeah.
truth here. We're gonna release it, and now actually we got in and everything that they were saying is 100% true. There's really nothing here.
Oh God.
And it's like, to me, it's like, and maybe this is something in your notebook. Like, why are you going to die on this hill? Like, what could be in there that
Now we're
you
talking.
would either all along you knew there was nothing there, but you just used it as a talking point to rile people up, which is not good, or there is something there. When you were campaigning, you were telling the truth, and now why are you completely reversing? Like, why is it that there's nothing there anymore? That's kind of crazy to me. And I'm like, how are you're gonna die on this hill? Like, you're gonna die on this hill because you're gonna lose all the support. People who trust you, like, you're just in a snap of the fingers. You're just gonna, like, you've lost all of this
Yep.
goodwill and faith. It just seems kind of like, it seems foolish. Like, what's there? Aliens? Like, what could be so damning that
That would be
you're
cool, but I think it's way darker than that.
no, I mean, that's what I'm
Uh,
saying. It's like, what's so damning here that you would not want to reveal it to people?
Yeah, no. There's so many things I want to say, but that's a good. So that visit, yeah, where they're
All the
mostly conservative Republican influencers went to the White House and they got binders. It was only information that was already publicly known for years. That was what's in the binder, and that was Pam Bondi who did that. She's the
okay.
one who gave them all the binders. She called them all into the White House into a meeting, in like a conference basically, and she gave them binders of information that we already know. It would be like someone calling you and I into a conference and then giving us like the history of the Roman Empire. We know this already. It's things that we already know. There's nothing here that I haven't learned already. So that's what you did. So it's basically a stunt. It's a PR stunt.
It is a PR stunt. And dude, this is something, not to cut you off, but like, this is something I've also kind of, question is just like, politics and entertainment, like, has
It's
become one thing. And I
that's
don't
right.
think it's always been that way. This is like where I would actually be like, me and Joe would probably agree with each other. Uh, like it has like that, like these stunts. Maybe it's always been this way. It's just been a little bit less like visible, but it's just like it's PR stunts, and it's kind of like, I see why people don't like Trump, and a lot of the reasons people don't like Trump are visual. Like, you don't present yourself like we want a leader to present themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people don't like Trump for that reason alone. Like,
His personality.
yeah, I think if you wrote down because let's say he obviously has accomplished things. If you wrote down his accomplishments in his time in office, because there's definitely accomplishments, I think that's
Mm-hmm.
beyond. And that you just said, hey, like, this is like, guess who, what president accomplished these things? Are these things good? And you didn't know who it was, you'd be like, that's awesome. Like, that's cool. Like, who did these things? And then if you found out Trump did it, you would automatically probably be like, like, you know what I mean? Like, we judge with our eyes. And for a lot of people, like, how Trump presents himself is like, that's not a leader I would respect. Even though in reality, I mean, let's be honest, Genghis Khan was a leader, and like, he killed people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this idea that the peaceful leader is kind of a ridiculous idea.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know where I was going to go with that. Anyway, go back to you. I'm rambling.
No, it's all right. No, I see what you're saying. It's right. Like when you get in a position of leadership, you start getting tapped by different parts, and that's where, I mean, if you want me to get conspiratorial, we can. But
I mean, I think it's
there's
fair. I think there's like, this is not even conspiratorial to me. It's like, okay, why did you have enough proof
yeah.
to like tell all of your people who are running and are helping you campaign
Mm-hmm.
that this is a talking point? Like, even
Exactly.
Vance, right, on Theo Vaughn was like,
Exactly.
I think they came up with that. He's like, yeah, he's like, when I get in office, like, that's something that we need to definitely look into. So it's like, maybe Vance didn't like lean into it as hard as like Kash Patel. Like, I feel like Kash Patel was like on Joe Rogan before the election and was like, yeah, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to
He
release
did.
secrets. I'm
It's
going to
on
reveal
camera.
secrets.
Yeah.
And it's like, now the same guy is like, Yeah, there was no secrets. Everything that they said about this that's all completely true. And it's like, so then what were you talking about then? You're lying. You either
Yeah.
were lying then or you're lying now. At some
Y-
point, you're lying, or at the very least, to be charitable, you were never telling the full truth.
Yeah,
Like, you know what
yeah,
I'm
and
saying?
they've been allowed to get away with it, dude. That's what I don't like, and it's don't you could do. Listen, one of the things that insults me the most is when you insult my intelligence. That's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Yeah.
You don't you're just gonna say, just like you said, you're just gonna sit there and say, now I was eh
Pretty
nothing is
much. That's
happening.
exactly.
There's
Hey,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
We
Uh,
looked.
yeah,
Actually, it was exactly what they said
yeah.
it was.
Like, don't bullshit me like that, dude. Don't do it, because
And
that's when I come down.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, no, no. I mean, I think I'm right there with you. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's just like, to me, it's, you're more conspiratorial than I am, and I can go down those rabbit holes as well.
Hmm.
To me, it's like, this is one of those things where I just don't understand the strategy. Like, you have to know going into saying that nothing happened
Hmm.
that people are gonna, like, you've trained them to believe that something happened. You train them. There's gonna be a backlash when now you go and start to try to unwind and untie all of those knots, right? Like, obviously they're not going to trust you because you've trained them to believe that there was a secret here.
That's right.
If there was never a
Exactly.
secret and you just use that as like a strategy, you knew you were going to get screwed, because eventually they're going to say, hey, you give us this information that you told us that existed. At some point, they're going to hold you accountable. So, like, I don't know. To me, it's just like, either you lied from the beginning and there was never a story here and you created a conspiracy, or there is a conspiracy and now you're part of it because you're not willing to, release, like, and again, there's not a list like that, doesn't it, but data, there's information around this case that's been concealed
People went to jail.
and you're not releasing it.
Maxwell and Epstein got convicted, and you're going to tell me nothing happened?
And for what exactly? Like,
Yeah.
what did she go to jail for?
Her charges was trafficking in women, to be used for like prostitution.
So again, so then you have a court of law
But they're
who is,
saying they're saying the girls were of age. That's the difference, because it's not pedophilia.
well,
It's
but that's like, again, that, so there's I mean, you can look at this from like so many different perspectives. Like,
There's so much to
let's
unpack.
say that
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with underage women. Let's just
Yeah.
take that literally, remove it from the story. You created a sex island,
Mm-hmm.
and let's just say that all of the women there were of their own volition.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're potentially changing the story.
Yeah.
They're all
Exactly.
hired they're prostitutes,
They're sex workers. Yeah.
and they live on an island that a billionaire created, who we have no idea where he got his billions, and that many.
He was a finance guy.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
even if you pull that thread, it's like he was a finance guy who had no real clients, and like
Yeah,
was
he
given
didn't really
large
own a
sums of
firm.
money at different
Yeah.
times
Yeah.
as gifts.
Fair. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with
He
you.
had the
I'm with you.
largest apartment in New York City at one point in time that was given to him. Like, okay, I don't get all of this.
Yeah.
I'm not a genius, but something smells a little fishy.
Yeah.
But again,
I'm
it's
with you.
like you have this island, right? Again, if there was no underage aspect, like, take it all off. You have an island stocked with beautiful prostitutes, adult
Yeah.
industry
Adult content
employees.
creators as well. Yeah.
Thank you. There we go. That's
Yeah.
a nice way to say that.
Yeah.
And you have a clientele. You have many visitors. Let's just say, not any clientele. We have many visitors of this island that are also in very high degrees of positions of power.
Power, authority, and financial. Yeah.
That alone is enough to be like, okay, who's going to this place?
Mm-hmm.
You're not
It's
technically
peculiar.
breaking any laws, right? I mean, they're all, you're not in America. You're probably in uncharted territory. There's no illegality to probably prostitution on this random
Caribbean island.
Caribbean
Yeah.
island.
Yeah.
I still kind of want to know if my president or whoever is like a frequent flyer to this sex island.
Yeah. No, you making this an excellent point. You've now, if it's true, let's say it's not true. Let's say none of it happened. You still use that. So you made that up as a campaign strategy to get elected. What does that say about you as well? Like that part of it, that's a great point. So
I don't know. Anyway,
what
what
do you
else
think?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
So let's talk about
uh,
Pam Bondi a little bit. Cuz Pam Bondi, I can tell you from well, I've never met
cool.
her
I
personally,
was gonna say,
but she was the Florida Attorney General, and
okay.
let's just say I know people that know her. We won't name them because I don't want to get them wrapped up in our tinfoil here. But you, Chris, you know who it is. Just think about it a little bit. You'll know who it is. Um, Apparently she was cool. She was a cool. Like they they're not friends, but they know one another.
Okay.
And she got hired while she was the Florida Attorney General. She said when she got appointed as the U.S. AG, she said in an interview on camera. I think it was Fox News. I think it was Fox News, and she said, "I have the list on my desk, and
I've
we're
seen
gonna
it.
look into it." You've seen that. You've
I've
seen that
seen the
clip.
clip. I've seen the
She
clip.
said it, and now she's like, "Oh no, well, I didn't really mean it that way." You see how they like use semantics to try to say like, "Oh no, that I didn't really mean it that way." So there is a book. They said he had a black book of like where he would like record things. They admitted to that, but they don't. They said there's no list.
So what do you? Okay, so let's just speculate for a second, right? And honestly, like people who are listening, the few probably people who know us personally,
Yeah.
but any random internet person who stumbles across this, I mean, it's an
Yeah.
interesting thing. We're just speculating,
Yeah.
but I do think like the underlying point of like using because all at least in American politics, I think in anywhere you are listening from, it's true of like politics anywhere, right? You do find that like people they create lies to incite like a certain desire in the masses, and then once that lie has done what it needs to do, how quickly they just kind of like let it like dissolve and like forget about it. I mean, you saw a lot of that stuff with Democrats did it to Trump. Like, whether you like Trump or not, there were definitely things that he was accused of that, like, at this point have been marked as like, that was a lie. That was not true.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, like, I think Russiagate is at this point, whether if you could find people of all political parties who like, there's enough information like that was not accurate. Like, that's not true. Um, you know what I mean? So like I think all sides do this, and it is kind of interesting because it's like it pretty much says that you as the masses are not smart,
Yeah. The
right?
audience is a problem.
Like you just because we'll lie to you and you'll either you'll forget the lie, or actually it doesn't matter if you forget the lie. At the end of the day, you can't do anything, so like eat it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that to me is like the biggest annoyance. I think that's the thing I think that makes me angry would be like, you lie to my face. And now you're expecting, like, I'm not going to remember that you lied to my face. Or
Yeah.
even worse, you just don't care. And like that to
Either way,
me,
it's bad.
yeah, it's kind of like, okay, so, and we're supposed to live in like we the people. Like we're in charge. No, you're not in charge. If your leaders can lie to you to your face and they don't care, it's kind of like, we don't care. I don't think you're really in charge of anything. Like you are a subject. You're really not you're not calling the shots. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. You're right. So yeah, she was part of that whole fiasco with like the binders and stuff. And what's bad on not on, when I say they, I mean the government, the Republican administration right now. These are the people that helped you get elected. So they were the ones on social media, in the corporate media, like pumping your tires, supporting you, and now you're just gonna feed them like just these, not just these scraps, and you're gonna basically you're just what's the word, you're, in England they would say you're just taking the piss out of
Taking the
them.
piss, yeah.
You're taking the piss out of them right now by giving them a binder of things that everyone has known already for 7 years.
Yeah, but I think that they knew it too. I think that they were like complicit.
Yeah. Yo, so you think they were part of the whole PR stunt?
Yeah,
Maybe,
I
maybe,
think so because they're going to
maybe.
look at the documents and be like, "This is not, this is nothing here's new,
That's
right?
possible. Yeah.
Like you didn't, there's no, you didn't release any like bombshell here." Again,
Yeah.
that's why I think it was like a very much like a PR stunt, and that's why I said it's so fascinating how like politics is turning into like
Yeah, you're right about that. It's like
TV. It's turning into like
it's
the
like
Bravo.
it's like Bravo. It's like watching Bravo. Exactly right. Exactly right.
Right, like law, it's it's almost like our the like our culture or our media has now influenced like how we lead, how we run things. Like think about this for a second.
It's
Trump
trash
is trying to
TV.
have UFC fight on the White
Yeah,
House lawn. That's
yeah.
insane. Like I like UFC. Anyone who's listened to us
I
knows we
love
both
combat.
like UFC.
Yeah,
I can see it's kind of cool, but it's also kind of ridiculous at the same time. Like
it's
really,
absurd. Quite frankly,
it's
it's
like,
absurd.
are you Caesar? Are we bringing back like the gladiatorial combat in
Yeah,
front of the emperor? Like, come on, it's just kind of like
yeah.
I don't know,
Just get Russell Crowe out on that lawn and see what
right?
happens. Yeah,
Exactly.
like what are
Like,
we
let's
doing
just
here?
kick it up a notch. Like,
Yeah,
let's bring some swords and shields out.
exactly. But yeah, let's get some
Um,
lions, and let's get Russell Crowe fighting lions on the white.
yeah, I when I
It's
heard it, I was
absurd.
just like, all right, come on, guys. This is now this is becoming like a TV show. This is becoming like a movie. This is
Right. That leads into the next my next talking point here. There's let's talk about the general public. Why do you think people keep falling for all this? Why do you think they want like the scandal and the dramatic soap opera type political? Because it's like you said, it's like trash TV. It's like reality TV. That's what they want. What is it about this type of content that people just get either extremely outraged or fascinated by?
well, what do you think?
I think it's because in America, where it's a culture now of like polarized extremes, very polarized. So it's it's almost like the way I relate to it is like a sports mentality. Like the Democrats are my team. That's my team. I and the Republicans are our main rival. It would be like the arch rival game, and it's like I everything they do, I'm gonna criticize, and I'm gonna dislike them, and everything we do, no matter how bad any of our players play,
Yeah.
like anyone in any politician in the Democratic Party, no matter what they do, I'm going to be like, oh no, no, let's just sweep it under the rug. They're on my team. So anyone on my team is cool. Everyone on the arch rival team I despise, and they're disgusting. So I think that's that that's really only I've only experienced this in America. Like America is probably the main culprit of this type of behavior, where everything it it's like a competition, and you have I'd rather win, I'd rather be wrong and win than like actually come together and have a conversation and make everyone better. Like we want the entire country, we want to support everyone. No, I want to win, I need to win, and that's the problem.
Okay.
You see what I'm
Interesting.
saying? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I see it. I mean, yeah, I can't speak to other countries. I do think that like in the UK, you are seeing kind of a similar. It's actually kind of weird. Like I've listened to some like commentators, and they're saying like almost like America, our culture has the ability, especially within like Western countries,
Yeah,
to kind of infect them. So like
definitely.
things that we start to see trends start to get adopted. So like in our country, I don't want to use the word. I'm just going to use the words because people know what I'm talking about. I don't, but they're like you said, they're kind of poor, like woke or progressive. Some of these
Yeah.
ideas,
Hmm.
the extremes that a lot of people kind of feel like, they originated really like in the U.S. And then you start to see like there was a delay, and then in like Ireland and England and Scotland, you started to see a similar patterns emerge, right? And it's like you got to ask, like, well, how? And I think a lot of it is like a lot of Western countries do take, I think, and if you're in a Western country, I could be wrong, but I do think there's certain patterns, certain trends that kind of originate here and then get adopted, and vice versa. But I think when it comes to politics, you start to see it. So I know in the UK, like the parties are a little bit different, but I do think there is this friction. But I think you're right, like in the sense of like there are certain things that should be like not like battles,
It should be
like to go
bipartisan. Yeah.
like the Epstein thing. It's like
There shouldn't be a
ideally,
political issue. Yeah.
ideally you should be like, okay, if there's abuse, we all want to know, like that's not right. And if politicians or powerful people are taking advantage, especially in like that domain, like that should be like a non-starter. Everyone should be like, okay, like we need to know this, like we need to understand like what was going on here, et cetera, et cetera. Like abuse in general should be like not even a question, especially child abuse.
Yeah,
Like
man.
that should be like there's no argument here. It's like we need to get to the bottom of it. And I think you're right. It's like I think there are people on both sides that are kind of like so locked into their team that it's like my team is more important than maybe what it originally stood for. So if they kind of change what they stand for, it's still my team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably very true of sports. Like there are sports teams that you might have started to follow because of XYZ. Maybe they had a player you really liked, team
Definitely.
was great, and then it's like the team fundamentally changes, but like it's my team, so I follow them.
Yeah.
And I think in politics it's kind of like that. And then there's outliers. Like you have like an RFK who was like, my team is the Democratic Party, but my team has changed, and I'm going to have to make a change. And then but I think a lot of people is just like they pick their team for whatever reason, and they stick with it. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, it's like, and then it's also very American in culture is you want to own the other team, you want to embarrass them and humiliate them so
Yeah.
that you can make fun of them. So that's
I mean,
part of
America
it
is a
too.
warrior culture. Like
Yeah,
we don't, maybe not so much anymore, but like we're kind of Roman in certain qualities. Like like we want to be victorious, we want to win, we want to
yep,
dominate, we want to be at
yeah,
the top of the food chain, whether you think you're like that or not. Like that is, I think that is an under, like the idea of freedom, like whether you think you're like care about that quality or not, it's part of your pre-programming. Like you are different. Like this was something I kind of realized when you travel around to other countries, especially countries that are very different than you. Like go to like Asia, it's like different countries in Asia. Like go to Russia, for example. Like how a Russian views the world is going to be very different than how you view the world. You might not think it, but like
yeah. It's ingrained.
it's there, right? They're going to have a different sense of things. And like I imagine if you spend a lot of time with someone from Russia or China or Japan or whatever, you're going to find those situations where you're like, whoa, like we are looking at this completely different. And it might take you a while to kind of identify, but like it's probably some ingrained idea that's like been taught for like 200 years in your country. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
now I no, you're right, and I think what makes it worse like this, the underlying another layer to that is I think America enjoys, at least Americans enjoy people in the public like sphere being humiliated and destroyed. They like watching that happen. So
Do you think that is more of a, so again, like we have to go back in time, but do you think that what you just stated is more of a byproduct of like the internet age, or do you think it's always been kind of true in America?
Mm, interesting. I would say the former. It's
It's
maybe
always
it's always been there, but it's definitely exacerbated by the
okay.
internet because people love watching other people fail, and which is why everyone in the country is so fascinated by the Epstein story. They want people that are powerful, and I might be guilty of this as well. People in power that have a lot of money and fame and wealth and authority, they want to see them like collapse and capitulate and fall.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I think
yeah,
that's 100% true, right?
yeah,
Like I think people take morbid satisfaction when someone who's successful fails.
yeah. What's the German word to like I don't know how to pronounce it. Schadenfreude.
I don't know.
I butchered that, but that's the word for it. Like
That
when
that
you
that
when
idea,
yeah
that's interesting.
when you take immense joy out of the failure of someone else. Schadenfreude. I
Yeah, I mean,
think.
I think that's very true, and I do think that's part of it. Like, there's definitely that part of it. It's the same reason why a celebrity, something because they're human, right? They make something happens, and then all of the you go to the grocery store, all of the magazines at the checkout have like this person's he or she's like this faux pas they made, this mistake, like blasted over all of the covers, and it's like, yeah, I mean people like have a hungry appetite to seeing people fall from
Exactly.
grace.
Yeah, yeah. And like they get entertainment value and happiness from it, which is I don't know what that says about us as a society, but
Yeah, I
it's
don't know
definitely
either.
true. But I want to talk about one important thing, and you mentioned it earlier when you were speaking. Like let's not forget, lost in all of this are young human beings
Yeah,
that were being maybe they were legal. I don't know. Like we don't know. We don't have the facts.
correct.
And it looks like we're never going to fucking get the facts. But uh, let's not get lost that some of these people were abused. Maybe they were underaged. Maybe some of them were of age, but we don't know.
Let's say at the very least there was many
Let's
people who were taken advantage of. At
That's
the
a good way.
very least,
They were exploited,
to worse.
yeah, coerced. They were, and like mentally, emotionally, and physically, every which way.
Yeah,
So let's not forget that that's a part of it, and let's not make this just a strictly red versus blue issue. This is more of a like a global humanitarian thing. Let's not forget. And I have a question. When I was doing my research, these children or teenagers that were there, why can't we interview them? Why can't they say they come out? You think there's a danger if they speak out? They were there. They were there. There was one person who actually came and spoke. I forgot her name.
yeah. I was gonna say
But
I think there's a couple who have.
yeah, so get let's if there's a trial, let's get them on the stand.
Yeah.
But do you think there's a danger element to it? Now we're going to get to the conspiracy part. If they
Yeah.
do say something, will will they be erased?
I mean, here's the thing. It's like I don't think it's a question that there was an island. I don't think there's a question that like powerful people, and that's kind of a broad term, whether they're powerful of politically or financially, went to this island. Like that's not even I don't think that's like to me. That's like it's not even a
It's
question.
no, it's
We
not.
know this is
That's a
true,
factual statement.
right?
Yeah.
So the question then is like, okay, what happened on the island? It could be complete. I mean, play devil's advocate. Nothing.
Yeah.
People could have got. It's not illegal to get massages, but like again, like we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think it's just kind of like, yeah, like to your point, like there are people, women who of different ages now who like have come out and said things. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are they lying or are they telling the truth? At the very least, you would think there'd be some form of evidence that you could say, you know what, like we've looked into this, everything's above board. But to say like nothing happened, it's almost, and again, like I haven't done all of the research, so like I don't know when they are saying now that like nothing happened, like what that actually means. What do you mean nothing happened? No, like illicit activities took place. There was no sexual misconduct with minors. There was nothing whatsoever happened. This is all
I can
not
speak to
real.
that a little bit
Oh, go
if you
ahead.
want. Yeah. So there's what they're admitting is they're the island did exist, obviously, but you can't deny that. You could
Yeah.
physically see it. To say, come on. But their stance is what I said in the beginning. Their stance are these women. It was everything was consensual. Consensual. There was
Okay.
nothing against their will, and they were all of age, and there were people there going to the island to engage in activity with them, but everything was like consensual, and they were all of age, and it doesn't. So that's the stance, which we know that's. Come on, man.
I mean,
Don't
even if that's true, so like let's change it up, right? So like prostitution is legal in Las Vegas, right? I mean, it is. I'm almost
isn't it in the Netherlands as well?
well, yeah.
Amsterdam.
I mean, in lots of countries, but like
Yeah,
in America, it's Las Vegas. So
I
if
don't think that's true, but
I'm pretty sure. Let's find out. 1 second.
you go ahead.
Because I don't want to
No,
legal
don't say
in
don't
Vegas. I
don't
don't want to.
embroil yourself in a scandal here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct. I don't
I
want to. Prostitution in Las Vegas, a legal overview. Let's see.
I'll help you out here.
Yeah, it says this is prostitution is legal.
Oh, you're
It's
talking
illegal.
about it's not legal, yeah. But you
Yeah.
can like strip clubs are
All right,
legal, obviously.
take that back. So let's
There's
say
no
hypothetically,
yeah.
it was legal in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Um, if you found out that, I don't know, Bill Gates made like frequent trips to Vegas on someone else's dime to visit their brothel, I don't know, right? It's like they're not. It's not illegal what they're doing, but it would be like an issue. Like you would be like, okay, you keep going to Epstein's like apartment in Vegas where he has like parties with prostitutes. You know what I mean? Like even if it's legal, you still would kind of like want to know because you're putting yourself in a position where like I don't know, you could be compromised.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like it's I don't know, it's very strange. Like yeah, I don't know. I have
Yeah.
some thoughts as to why they might keep it secret that are like not like bad, not conspiratorial. Like maybe there's people who went like because the island is an island. Like you have an island. Let's say you're inviting people to the island. Not every single person is doing anything nefarious. Maybe there's like certain Saturdays are your freaky Saturdays, and then Monday on the island is a chill Monday. I don't know. You're at the beach, so like maybe there's the idea that you're releasing names of people who went to the island, and not all of them have done
Uh
something, but like if you release those names, you're kind of tarnishing them, and that could have a ripple effect. Like they're the CEO of a big company, like they're shareholders. You essentially their name comes out, and let's just say for argument's sake, they didn't do anything. They literally were like, "No, I was invited. There was a party on the island. I was invited. I went." Right? I mean, that's possible. Didn't do anything
no.
nefarious, but now I'm kind of like roped into this situation where by extension, by default, I'm also people are gonna think I did something illicit and wrong.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
maybe it's like Trump's like, okay, like I like the S&P 500, I'm gonna have people all on this list, and some of them we know didn't do anything. Like we're just gonna brush this under the rug. I could see that and be like, all right, like I can see the logic there. Um, but go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, no. This
So
is
that
where
does that make sense?
yeah, oh yeah, this is where the intelligence community comes into play. So you took one of the talking points. That's why we're on the same page.
Boom, we're vibing.
Yeah. So in terms, this is the rumors that I'm seeing. If you go down, if you're Batman jumping from rooftop to rooftop at night at 4 a.m, like I'm want to do, and this is what some people are saying. There's not that the people that allegedly did the criminal activity, but the people that were associated that didn't do anything, the intelligence community doesn't want this list to come out, because then those people, then once you're associated with
Yeah.
Epstein's island, you're finished. Your reputation is finished. It doesn't matter if you did anything or not.
Yeah.
So what the intelligence community, the CIA and the FBI, they'll say, okay, we're not going to release the list. We know what happened, but we can't say anything because there's people that had nothing to do with any of the bad things that happened were there, and it's going to completely destroy their reputation. So we can't do it. So what
Yeah.
do you think about that? And then the trade-off is when the president and the White House does things like they'll send like remote bombs to Iran. They'll do things like that. We'll look the other way. You get to do your things. It's like a trade off. He's like, nothing to see here, nothing to see here.
Yeah, I
So
mean, you scratch my
yeah,
back, I scratch your back type of
right,
scenario.
and that's what they're doing. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's all possible. I don't know. I mean, here's my question to you: would be like, if you were in charge, like if you were a president or a king, I don't know. Like, do you think that the people, like, I guess there's two ways to look at these things, right? It's like, all right, I am in charge. My job is to either protect the people or at the very least create order and stability. The truth is going to create disorder and instability. Therefore, I choose not to tell people the truth. And like, you could see someone make that argument, and I could say, I kind of understand why, right? So if you were in charge, would you be the type of person that says, I'm going to release the truth regardless? If it creates instability and
yeah,
chaos, the truth is important. It needs to come out. Or could you see yourself saying, this is one of those situations where the truth could create more problems and cause more damage than telling a lie?
yeah.
'Cause, I mean, I do think that like
That's an age old question.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I think that's part of presidents, right? Like there's things that they want to tell the truth about, and then they look at the data and they're like, we can't.
yeah.
So what do you think? Like,
That's the same thing with aliens. That I've been dealing with that question for my whole life. That that's that's the main. I would say that's the main explanation for why they won't release what I believe is concrete evidence that extraterrestrial life exists. It's because it's, it's like psychologically, it'll just change everything in this country. Not just the country, the world. It'll
mm,
just everyone will. I don't think that one would cause chaos like this one would, but in terms of like war and stuff like that, but it'll just rock everyone to the core. So there is, I do understand it, but I would, I'm always of the, like, I subscribe to the theory. It's not even a theory. I've subscribed to the lifestyle of, you got to be honest.
well,
Just
it's a belief.
if,
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
it's a belief. Just tell.
tell the truth.
I would release the truth, because at some point you can only fake it for so long. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know,
you
man. You can maybe fake it for a long
for
time.
you
I don't
could
know.
fake it for a long time, but at some point it's going to come out. Like, at some point, I think we're going to find out what happened with JFK. At some point, it could be, but like you said, it could be a century from now. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I think that's yeah. I mean, we can
I
maybe
I'm
wrap
on the
this one
side
up.
of the
Yeah,
truth. Yeah.
because again, like I think that's kind of where we're at right now. Like it seems like someone made the decision that, you know what, the truth is going to cause more problems, and we promised the truth, but you know what, we're not going to give it because
But hold on, let me cut you off for a second there. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
But why I would hesitate? I see what you're saying, but I would hesitate to be on board with that, because that's always a built-in excuse for people in power to be like, "Oh, we just didn't want to tell anyone because it would just scare everybody. It would be too chaotic." I think that's a built-in excuse. Maybe the people can handle the truth.
Oh no, I
Can.
agree. I
They
mean,
can.
I'm
Yeah.
not disagreeing with you. Like I think that's it seems like that's what they're doing is that
It's clear
someone
to me
yeah,
that that's
someone
what
has
they're.
just said like it's not in our interest. Like like let's just like devil's advocate, right? Either we want to we actually do want to tell the truth, but the truth is going to create problems that could hurt people, therefore we're going to just like lie,
Mm-hmm.
or we're lying for our own interests. So like we're gonna get in trouble, so therefore we're gonna lie. So I could see it like both, but I kind of my thing is like, dude, yeah, like at a certain point you just got to tell the truth because I mean the people, I I don't know. It comes back down to this. I don't think we really have like we're in a democracy, quote unquote, like a what is a republic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're really we're free in relate in relatively speaking, but like we do not control the government. We're peasants, like we really are, like not peasants in compared to like ancient times, but like we think we are part of the decision making, but I really don't think we are, and we're just not like I don't think there's really an emphasis to tell us the truth. I think the people in the government kind of like they think they know best, right? And like
Yeah.
that's it. It's kind of like, well, no, we know best. It's like a parent, like, well, no, we're not going to tell our child all of this stuff. We know best. Like, we're going to try to protect them. That's at
I
least what
think
they
there's an
think.
element of that. Yeah.
And I think that's it. That's like the more positive, where it's like we think we know what's best for the people. The other side is just like we don't care, and we're not going to tell you because it's going to like mess with us, right? And then it's just like we're just covering up a secret.
Yeah, no, I think there's an element of the former, but I think it's more of the latter. I think if we're talking about this topic,
Yeah.
this is straight up selfish cover up. We need to protect powerful people, and we don't want the names out there.
So let's talk about consequences. Since
Yeah,
we kind of this is going to be the main topic for today is like we talked
yeah,
about Epstein, right? So now
yeah.
you're seeing some different consequences. Maybe you even took some notes. Like you got Elon, who,
Yep.
you know, some people like Elon. I kind of go back and forth. I think he's a, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily trust him with my future.
I like Elon as an inventor, as in technology, but not as a like a government figure. No.
I mean, anyone who has like 12 kids by like 6 different women, yeah, there's maybe a Jenga piece missing in their brain. Um, my opinion. I think that's not
Yeah,
going to end well.
yeah, you're not wrong, but maybe that's what makes him a genius.
Hey,
You see what I'm saying?
maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
Steve Jobs gave us the iPhone, or I guess he gave us the iPhone.
He gave us
But he was a horrible dad. So I don't know. You can be good at one thing and bad at something else.
yeah.
But he's talking about how he wants to start, and I don't know if it's true or if he's just him saying things, but like I think he's talking about starting another political party, like
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
financing politicians when they run. What do you think is going to be the backlash of particularly Epstein and a lot of other things like fight, you know, the stuff going on in Iran, stuff going on in between Russia and the Ukraine. Like to your point when you started, like the current administration is kind of like either being put into positions they didn't want to be or are putting themselves in position that are counter to what they ran on. So like, yeah, what do you think are going to be like the consequences of this?
It's a good question. There's so a couple things. I don't think it would be a good thing necessarily for just the people of America if Elon is running a political party. I don't think that's what we need. However, I do think there needs to be more options. I would like another party involved that can actually win elections that aren't just like the duality, right? So
Yeah,
I think
yeah, yeah,
a third party that can actually win, not a third party that's just gonna just like participate.
yeah. Like the
This is,
Libertarian Party or
yeah,
the
like
Green Party.
if there's a couple more parties, even more, like we could go 3, 4. if there was 4 legit parties that can actually win elections, that would be excellent for this country.
Mm.
But I'm not sure. I don't know if Elon is the guy to run it.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
what I would say.
I don't know either. So that's, I mean, that would be interesting. I mean, to see if like if a huge infusion of money went into a third, even if he's not running it, but like
Yeah,
imagine if
but he's a de facto running it if he's funding the whole
this,
thing.
and this is
That's what I
true
don't
too.
trust.
It's like, do you want?
Yeah,
But then again, the interesting thing is like with these other two parties, there's also big donors. It's just a lot of times we don't know who they are.
yeah.
And if you at least knew Elon was the guy with his finger, like he's the
That's
one
a
giving
good
the
point.
money, you're like, at least I know who's the one financing it. So
Yeah,
I don't gotta like, there's not someone hiding in the dark. It's like, no,
that's a
no.
good
All
rebuttal.
right,
Yeah.
are you financing someone? Is this going to help you? I can at least draw the line. Whereas, like, I don't know who the financiers of like the
The
Democratic Party are, or the
yeah,
Republican Party.
yeah, the devil you know. The devil you know is
Yeah, I mean,
better than
I
the devil
rather
you don't.
know. Like, okay,
That's a great
you
rebuttal.
know,
Yeah,
um,
because we know the lobbyists are there. They're the hedge fund guys.
so here, okay,
They're private equity. Don't good. I'm not going to go into it.
no, but
We'll
a
go
hundred.
another.
But again, I mean, yeah, I mean, and a lot of these people put money on both sides, right? They put money on red and black,
They
right?
hedge
Like,
their bets.
correct.
That's why they're hedge funds. Yeah.
It's like people who sell arms. They sell arms to the both sides of the
That's yeah.
war.
So
War's good for business on both sides.
right, and then either way they come out on the winning side.
They
Yep.
win.
Yep.
So let me see. So can you see a scenario where Trump is in fact the master strategist, and there is a strategic, like, because again, like people who are very MAGA, it's like Trump can do no wrong, and like when he seems to be doing wrong, it's really just this master strategy where he's actually thinking like 30 moves ahead, and it seems like this is like a lie, or he's doing the wrong thing, but in reality you don't get how deep his strategy is. Like, could you think of a scenario where the holding back of this information, or the at least like the new narrative that there is no information, like is part of some strategy that is in fact good for the people, and like keep like, right, still keeps him within his talking points of like telling the truth, revealing the lies, draining the swamp, etc., etc.?
No chance. I think this is a blatant. It's such a flagrant cover up to protect. Maybe now what I would entertain is maybe it's designed to protect people that are actually innocent of any criminal activity. That I could see, but
Interesting.
it's not some um like you're talking about like 4D chess move
Yeah, he's like,
where
okay, I'm gonna
nah
hold
nah
this, but I'm gonna
nah.
release it later. But like, this could impact our negotiations with like Russia and Ukraine, so we're gonna.
They're not that intelligent
Yeah,
to run that type of to run that type of like a playbook. No,
interesting. Okay, yeah,
look at the people in this party, man. I think we're good here politically because we call out both sides. We're down the middle, like but you're more
I'm
libertarian.
more yeah, I'm more
Yeah,
definitely more libertarian. But again,
yeah,
it's like I do think I'll call a spade, right?
right,
Like,
exactly.
this is one of those things where it's like, come on, you can't
Yeah,
say there's a problem, there's a secret, and you're running on it, and then all of a sudden, when it's your turn to like put your money
yeah.
where
I
your mouth
don't.
is,
That's very disappointing.
it's just
Yeah,
like, come on, like how can anyone ever trust you again? And you'll need their trust, right? Like, you, at the end of the day, you need to run for office. Like, you do need to kind of hypnotize the masses once every 4 years to keep you, like, your party in power. So like that's why it's interesting. It's like this move you've made,
it's
you've
not a good look.
alienated people, and like
Yeah,
down the road, it's gonna, like, there's gonna be a time you need them again, and they're just gonna say, no, no,
yeah.
I don't trust you.
Yeah, exactly. You asked about consequences. I think this will definitely have an impact on the midterm elections when Congress gets voted on.
That's a good point, and that's
Yeah,
soon. So that's, when is
fall
that?
fall 2026.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that is I don't know. So, okay, is there anything else you wanted to kind of cover? We kind of did a pretty, I think we kind of gave a pretty
Nah,
sprawling
this was good actually.
breakdown of this.
I have one more thing about this current administration. So, do you think, and I think this ties a little bit with like the cover up situation, do you think this could potentially be like a negotiating business deal versus an ideology? Like, has a deal been cut with people in order to keep the secret? Or is it to more what we were discussing? Is it more something where they just want to save this information for the public either for selfish reasons or to protect other innocent people? Or it was a deal cut with people?
I mean, again, to give Trump credit, like if you
Yeah.
wanted to throw him a bone,
Yeah.
like what is he considered? The negotiator. And
He's a good
like,
business guy. Yeah.
and I could see it, right? It's like I would imagine in politics, as in business, like leverage is important. So if you can get leverage on someone, you take advantage of the leverage, right? So
Mhm.
imagine you had this lit. And again, this is where I was kind of going with my earlier, right? It's like to play devil's advocate, to give him credit, let's just say, like if he is not a liar and he's like, you know what? I'm going to make a tactical decision. It's the best thing for the country. I'm just like speculating, right? I'm going to lie and I'm going to bold face lie. This is, I'm going to eat the shit, right? Like I know this is like, I'm lying. People are going to know I'm lying, but this is going to be the best thing in the long term. And I'll eat it, which I get, right? I mean, I think that I don't know if I would do that, but like I could see, I don't know if I was in that situation, I might, right? So now imagine you have all of these important people who you now have massive leverage on. And if you were, I don't know, more, I'm speculating, like a moral person, you're like, okay, I have these things that are the best thing, I believe. And these people now are in my pocket, right? Just like we talk about how politicians are in big money's pockets. Well, what if someone gave you a dossier and it said, you know what? You can just reverse all of that real quick here. Here are all these CEOs. Here are all these people who had a little bit of a dalliance on this island, right? Maybe not even, let's just, again, take it, let's say it's all above board. It's all legal. How many of these
Mhm.
people are married? How many of these people, you know what I mean? Like you still have leverage,
Mhm.
right? Like, and you just say, hey, you know what? Like, I need you to do this thing, build this factory here in this state, or do this thing here in that state. And like, you better do this. Here are the terms of the negotiation. Like, would you release that leverage into the world, or would you
Yeah.
sit on that leverage?
That's a good point.
Again, that
And
doesn't
when
mean you're going to use the leverage for the betterment of Americans. You might use that leverage for yourself and for your
yeah.
own aggrandizement. But I could see someone making, like, I could see that being an argument where you're like, why would we, if we give this up, like a WikiLeaks drop, it's out in the world, people know it, but no one can take advantage of it now. They're going to be Me Too. They're going to, their reputations are going to be tarnished.
Mhm.
Um, they'll be thrown in the mud. You know, the lynch mobs will happen, right? People will feel morally justified. They're gonna get them, you know, in the court of public opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
But now they have no power, and we can't take advantage of it. So let's tell people there's nothing, and have a negotiation with each of these. You're mine now. So I could see that.
Yeah, no, it's a great bargaining chip to have at the table. Yeah, you're
That
right.
that bargaining chip ain't
Yeah,
going away till they die.
exactly.
Imagine you
If
got 5 kids or 3 kids, you're married, and then you made it. You went over. I don't even say you made a mistake.
hmm,
You did something you shouldn't have done. You gave in to a dark desire, or you were drunk, or liquored up, or drugged.
or someone spiked you. Yeah,
Right? I mean, P Diddy seemed to be doing that. I don't know how he's getting off on what he did.
it's absolutely ridiculous.
But
Yeah.
it's like, and then you did something and you woke up. It's like in The Godfather. Did you see The Godfather? You know, Godfather 1, when there's the I think it's Godfather 2. They're in Vegas. There's a
The horse's head.
politician. No, it's like there's a politician and the politician is not doing what they want. Politician goes to sleeps with prostitutes, and then he wakes up after like getting his drink spiked, or
Yeah.
and the prostitute's dead. They killed the prostitute and made him think
Uh,
he did it.
oh,
And now they have leverage, and he gives them like all the deeds, or he gives them land or licenses for casinos. So like
yeah, certifications.
now you have that person in your pocket forever. So I don't know. I could see Trump being like, I ain't giving this leverage up.
I didn't even think about it from that angle, but that's definitely possible. That's a good point.
Imagine if you
Yeah.
had other foreign dignitaries in there.
You basically have the Trump card, no pun
Literally,
intended,
you're like,
right there.
right? You're like, hey,
Yeah.
Iran, or Israel, you want to do this thing? Well,
Netanyahu, I know where you've been. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. I could see that. That's like my devil's advocate. It's still probably not like you're still saying that you know best, and the people don't deserve to know because I know what's best for them, which I still think is wrong. But I could see, like, if I was in that position, like, would I give that like massive like superpower away? I don't know.
Yeah, but my only retort to push back a little bit would be like
That was fair.
he's not gonna be in power in 3 years. He's gonna be gone. So
Correct.
if he's gonna use that chip, he has to use it within the next 3 years.
Or you pass it down to like whoever's the next person you want to run, like JD
Oh
Vance or
yeah,
something like, hey,
maybe.
you know what? Here, you have this superpower as well. I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Yeah, no, but I never even thought about that angle. That's a good point.
But again, I still think it's wrong. Like, okay, so you're pretty much saying that the indiscretions that or illegality or abuse that took place there, you're essentially saying the ends justify the means. Like, I'm sorry that happened, but those people are never going to be brought to justice. You're never going to get like your justice as a victim. And it's just, you're going to be forgotten. Your abuse is going to be forgotten, which is like in a way morally reprehensible.
Yeah, it's disgusting behavior. But now the last point, and then we can end it. What does this say? Speaking of Diddy and Trump's past trials and all this, what does it say about like the high level like federal court system in America? Like, if you have enough money, you just could get away with anything. How the hell did Diddy get off on all those charges?
I don't know, man.
Is another thing like you said? Is this all because you have such big like powerful blackmail material that no one will go near it?
I mean, maybe. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I didn't follow that trial, but I knew a lot of the highlights of like what was he convicted, what was he
Yep.
accused of? Pretty heinous stuff.
Yeah.
Heinous stuff, actually. Probably, in some sense, I would say it was more heinous than, not that you can compare abuse,
Yeah.
but like some of the things that they apparently were happening there were like horrible,
Outrageous.
right? Kind of beyond the scope of even what's considered like mainstream in like, I don't know, the world of sexuality. I don't know. I'm kind of going off there, but again, I to your point, getting back on track.
Yeah.
I yeah, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't appear. I mean, it's always been true. If you're poor, you're a higher likelihood that you're going to go to jail if you are convicted of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Versus if you have a lot of money, there's a higher likelihood that you're going to get out. And now add a little bit of blackmail to it. I mean, the sky's the limit, right? I don't know. Like, Diddy invited many people. I think Obama went to his party. I think there's at least a picture of him at one of his parties, right? Again, that doesn't mean that he did anything illicit,
Mm-hmm.
but
Right.
he was there. And we know that at those parties, at maybe different times of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's like the, Diddy party after dark is when the crazy stuff happened. I don't know. But again, it's like you have politicians there, you have powerful people there, CEOs there, right? Because I would imagine you get an invite to a Diddy party, you're going to go because it's like, maybe this is once in
Yeah,
a
but
lifetime. I'm going to check it out.
his parties were also like famous back in the late 90s, early 2000s when he was at his height in musical career.
Yeah.
They
So
were like big, famous, sprawling parties. Everyone wanted to go to those. Yeah.
yeah. So now you might have blackmail, or you might have
Yeah.
people who didn't do anything, but they're there and they just don't want to be connected. And it's like, how can we brush this under the rug? I don't know. I mean, there's the video of him beating up his his I think then wife or girlfriend.
Cassie. Yeah.
There's no question of like that video is no one is denying that video happened. And that video is like I've watched it.
It's brutal.
Dude, a guy like kicks her, like straight up soccer kicks her.
Yeah, and then he drags her by her hair through the hallway. Dude, it's crazy. Dude.
So I mean, like, I don't know. If you see that, there's a high I mean, I think there's a chance that that's not the worst thing that he's done. I mean, he's doing it in like a hotel.
It was hotel, the floor to their room.
It was a hallway, right? Like
Yeah, it
other
was a hallway.
people could have potentially seen that, and I don't
Yeah.
think he didn't look like he had any qualms about it. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think if you are wealthy and well connected, you will always have an advantage and potentially be able to get out of, let's call it human justice. Now,
You can
God forbid there is a God where there is actual, like, universal justice. You're gonna get yours at some point, and
I like that.
It might not be the
I'd
I
like
would
to believe
imagine
that's the case.
at the universal level. I imagine
You'll answer for that.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be much worse. So I hope that is because it's a shame. Like I mean,
I agree. I hope
there's people
that-
who take massive advantage and like abuse without any
Scot-free.
repercussion.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, it's a crazy one. I was surprised he got off with. I think he only had one. He got convicted of one thing, but I don't know what it.
He
what it
basically
amounts
got
to.
he basically got
House arrest.
got convicted of being a pimp. Basically, that's the easiest way to describe it in layman's terms.
And like, what is that even? What will he get for that?
He'll go to jail, but only for like I bet you he'll get sentenced for like 18 months or something. But
he's out in like 6.
He'll only serve like 6 to 8 months, and then he'll get out.
Well, I mean, Suge Knight's in jail, so I mean, I guess some powerful people do go to jail, but it does seem that like you have a super you definitely have a superpower if you have wealth and power. I do think it will help keep you out of jail.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah. Anything
There's more, but I don't think we can cover it anymore. That we could cut it off right here. Because I was going to talk about more like the you look it was really no, I think we got everything actually. Oh, who's really running the country? But that's a whole nother episode. You see what I'm saying?
we can have a deeper conversation because that I think would be interesting in any you could apply that universally, right?
Yeah.
Like if a politician is voted in and only has a limited time that they run, are they really running the country, or are there
exactly?
Are they running? It's like like Independence Day.
Correct.
Right when the president's like, "What do you mean? Like section what?" He's like, "Yeah, that's actually a real thing." Right. So that's like a shadow.
Yeah. No. I remember. Yeah, that's a good scene where he's like, "Oh, there's no." Remember when Bill Pullman is like, "There's no recovered spaceship. There's no alien body," and then the CIA guy goes, "That's not entirely true."
He's like, "That's not entirely accurate." And then there's like
they
a
go
massive
to area,
compound.
and then they go to Area 51. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
all right, ladies and gents, thank you for tuning in. This is again like another current events. Take everything we say with a grain of salt, but at least it should season your appetite to go do a little deeper dive because this is definitely going on like right now, and it's probably worth at least taking 10 minutes to kind of see like, okay, what is going on, and kind of informing yourself. So hope you have a good weekend. Have a great Friday. Peace out,
everyone. Yeah.